Well, I should hope so. That is absolutely not what you think your prospect, whether that be a potential dream team, accounting firm, law firm, financial partner, or seller, hears when you go through your industry plan and when you go through your elevator pitch. Hi, I'm Bruce Whipple, and on this episode of the Business Acquisition Podcast, we're going to talk about how to apply a test to your industry message or elevator speech to avoid making two critical mistakes. My friend Paul, a longtime friend who I went to college with way back 100 years ago at Northeastern University, shared with me a marketing piece that was the best I can remember seeing. It was basically an hour-long marketing video, and if you want that link, email me, but the critical takeaway is this. The advice was to look at your website, sales materials, etc., and ask yourself two questions. When someone reads or watches what you say, can they say, well, I should hope so? And ask yourself, who else can say that? Take a look at almost every marketing piece or ad you see. Most of the time it boils down to, we do high quality work at an affordable price in a timely manner. Or something like, we are high quality, dependable, and do excellent work. Well, of course it's boring, first of all. But let's ask two questions and ask how they measure up against those two questions that we just talked about. Oops, they flunked both. Well, I should hope so. You absolutely don't want someone to think, okay, yeah, we do shoddy work at a ridiculous price whenever we feel like it. And who else can say that? Basically, we do high quality work at an affordable price in a timely manner. Literally everyone who advertises can say that. So unless you pass those tests, you're very likely to be just like everyone else. And we don't want to see ourselves like everyone else. At least I hope we don't. What fun is that? And it's hard to get people excited about also-rans. So dream team building, getting accountants and lawyers, financial partners is exponentially harder. So the whole QLA process is harder. And let me give you an example of a way that you can turn this around. I've talked about this person before, but I was mentoring someone who was in the car hauling business. So if you want to move your cars and you're moving from New York to California, you hire a car transport, they end up moving your cars. And I asked him, how's that business? And he said, well, it's a great business except for one thing. I've got a big customer service problem. Okay, what's your customer service problem? He said, basically, I don't have any trucks, so I broker with car hauling agencies or truckers. And sometimes they come on time, sometimes they deliver on time. Usually I get a call from a customer asking, where is my car? Most of the time I can't answer that, so I try to reach the driver. Maybe he answers his phone, maybe he doesn't answer his phone. And I end up with a customer who's reasonably torqued off at me. So we talked about how we could change that and to avoid being like everybody else in that industry. And basically what we came down to was he could put a GPS chip in the glove box of the car that was being moved. Then 24/7, somebody could go on a website and see where their car was. Either it's moving across Ohio at 70 miles an hour or it's sitting in Kansas outside a bar and hasn't moved in 3 days. So when you look at that test for that business now, you can look at it and ask the question, well, I should hope so. And it really doesn't pass that test when compared to his competition. And who else can say that? Not many people in the industry can say that. So that's a great example of how to separate yourself from the rest of the people and have a message which is reasonably compelling. So for me, I don't know anyone who can say they've been partners with someone who's created $50 billion in wealth since 1993, and I'm a fair percentage of that wealth created. But I can say that. And I've been partners with Dan Pena, the $50 billion man, for 25 years. We met in 1993, a long time ago, back in California. And that experience has proven to me that success leaves clues, and that those clues are teachable. So first, thank you, Paul, for that marketing piece. It's one of the best I've ever heard. And remember to go back, take a look at your marketing materials, take a look at your elevator speech, and ask those two questions. Well, I should hope so, is what you don't want. to hear when you give your elevator speech, and who else can say that? So if you can pass both those tests, you'll end up with something that's different, something that's exciting. It's hard to get people excited about something that you're doing that everybody else is doing. And that car hauling business is a great example. If you were to pitch that business and just said, I want to buy car hauling businesses, yeah, okay, maybe a bunch of other people do. But if you can say, I want to end up buying car hauling companies, that the main problem in the industry is this, and here's my solution to fix that, you will be in a much different class, and you'll end up having people, whether that be Dream Team members, accountants, lawyers, financial partners, say, oh, that's a different take on the industry. I like that. So you're looking for something you can be first in. That's hard. But better and different, that's not so hard. And one of the techniques that you can use is put your keywords into Amazon. Just pick the industry keywords. You're going to get a bunch of books. You don't have to buy anything. But take a look at those 1-star reviews. And depending upon the industry, it'll say, this book was lousy because my biggest problem was X, whatever X is, and this book never talked about it. And write down those things that you see there. And then figure out, with respect to the industry you want to do, how you can take those pain points and solve those pain points. And that is the basis for a different, better, and potentially great industry that you can make a change to and have a compelling argument when people look at either investing with you, joining your team, being your accountants, lawyers, financial partners, et cetera, et cetera. So again, thank you, Paul, for that marketing piece. To me, it was fantastic. And if you'd like to learn more about the clues success leaves, and success does leave clues, they're on my and Dan's website. And they will serve you well, I think. Okay, so if you have any questions or comments or ideas for future episodes, please email bruce@brucewhipple.com. And if you're not already on our mailing list, head over to brucewhipple.com and sign up and grab any of the free reports. That'll put you on the mailing list. There is a lot of free information you can use to acquire already profitable businesses. This is Bruce Whipple. Thanks for listening to the Business Acquisition Podcast. And remember, you miss 100% of the opportunities you fail to take. And procrastination truly is the thief of time. So do something today, please. Your future self will be proud of you.